What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Doc's Daily. It is It's Thursday.
Thursday.
It's Thursday, May 22nd. I'm in Friday mood. I'm ready to move. I'm making moves. I'm going to Arizona, hang out with a couple of knuckleheads over here. We're gonna do some stuff. Welcome into Doc's Daily, though. Like, share, subscribe, do all those things. Comment. Drop in the comment section what you're into. Side, total, proper, otherwise. Let's talk about it. Therapy. Think about this as free therapy. All you got to do, hit the like button. We're here Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern. Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern. If you don't know, now you know. You've been put on warning. The Saturday show is different. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's way better than anything Craig Trapp's ever done. It's the greatest show ever made, ladies and gentlemen. And it's only on Saturdays at 11 a.m. It's for a select few. I'm just saying, but head over there on Saturdays if you ain't got nothing to do. Me and Griffin will be there. Doc's Daily, Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern, Saturday at 11, though. I got three handicappers here. They call themselves three amigos. Behind the scenes, there might be people calling them the Three Stooges. It is what it is. Larry, Moe, and Curly. And it kind of fits now that I look at it.
We'll go the opposite. I'm Curly, right? I would be like,
yeah, you're for sure Curly. You're for sure Curly. Anyways, we got to tell everybody, too, about the free 60. If you're a new customer at Doc Sports, go over to docsports.com/free60. You get a $60 account parked right in your account. Use on any one of the Larry, Moe, or Curly. Which, by the way, if I could get somebody over at Doc's, the back end, to change their names on the website, the Larry, Moe, and Curly, it would be awesome. But anyways, free 60. It's in the account. Head over there. Get that. Also, YouTube Premium. I'm going to pay all the bills, and then we're going to get into picks. Premium's $19.99. You get all that Indian cowboy stuff. All that stuff he has. Bottles it up, gives it to you on a daily basis. Premium Plus, you want to get a little bit more into it, $49.99. 3 Docs expert plays, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star stuff. You're not going to get Game of the Years. You got to pay for that, just like everybody else. This isn't UNICEF. We're not a nonprofit organization. Okay, $49.99 a month. 3 plays a day. Craig Trapp, what is that a month? $2,700.
$2,700. And don't forget, you get the level 1 included in that, so you don't have to pay for both.
Exactly. So $49.99 all encompasses Indian cowboy and a lot of other stuff. So let's get into this. I'm just going to go around the horn here. I'll start with Craig. What do you got going on tonight? What happened last night? Talk to me, Curly.
Last 3 days been smoking hot. 8-2 run the last 3 days, including 3-0 yesterday. 6-unit winner with the Pacers. What a comeback winner that was!
Holy moly!
I'll take it. I got 3 more plays tonight. I've got a Major League Baseball and NBA player prop 3 units, but I have a 7-unit play in the NBA tonight. This is the one we've had circled for a couple days now. It came out exactly where we thought, so we're on it tonight. Make sure you jump in on it. You can use that free 60, or if an existing customer, just go to the grid and get in on the NBA. $30 per day per sport, or $99 per week per sport. So make sure you check it out.
Boom. Griffin, what do you got going on?
Yeah, so red hot right now when it comes to prop selections. I'm 7-0 in my last 7 selections for plus $2,200. When it comes to long-term in my last 124 prop plays, I'm 73-51 for $4,500 plus. And when it comes to my plays graded 4.0, I'm 49-25 for $8,100 across props alone. Today I have a 2-pack in the props, 6 units in total, 4-unit when it comes to WNBA, 4-unit on the soccer field, 20-14 in my last 34 cards when it comes to soccer. NHL, 84-67 in my last 151 plays. That's 57%. And I have a 4-unit selection tonight on the ice, 8 p.m. And then when it comes to MLB, I've got a 4-pack, 2 totals and 2 sides. I want to say it's 6 units in total. So we're covering every sport across all cylinders today. And in the NBA, I have a 2-unit selection. That is a side play that goes off at 8:30 tonight, Lenny.
Nice. Man's on. Look at that guy. Rod Cape knows what's up. Griff don't mess around. Craig Trapp.
Boy.
Did you drop the premium yet for today?
The premium plus comes out between 12 and 12:30. It came out a little early today, but it's out. The premium IC doesn't usually come out till the afternoon, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. But actually, for the people that joined the premium today, and I put the premium plus plays in there accidentally, so you get that as well.
Accidentally.
Bonus day.
See that bonus there? You're welcome. You should hit the like button 3 times now, because if you hit it twice, you unlike it. So you got to hit it the third. If you were in on the Premium Plus, you already had this. Premium, that's the Indian Cowboy stuff where you work on his time. And Indian Cowboy time is a lot different than every time zone I've ever been in. So
usually like 3 to 4.
I'm just saying the Cowboy works on his own time. Okay.
It's on winners though. He wins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, everybody knows it. He knows it. Everybody you talk to knows it. Every customer he has in Premium knows it, but they're winners. Man shells out winners. Nick,
4 to 5 Eastern time, usually, by the way, FYI.
there you go. So maybe if you don't try and time it around that, just ring the bell for notifications. Nick, what do you got going on?
Yeah, yesterday, besides that Indiana Pacers call, yesterday was an ass backwards day. How about I had the Edmonton Oilers as my 6-unit play? And how about it? I told you guys to take Dallas the first period, and the Oilers came out and they scored. They took the lead, and then they give up all these goals in the third period. That was a tough one to bite. We're bouncing back, got a 4-unit play on the ice. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm 7-3 in my last 10 selections on the diamond, 4-1 in my last 5 baseball cards, up over $1,400. I have a 7-unit best bet going off tonight at 8:10 p.m. Eastern time. That's a part of a 2-pack. We're locked and loaded on the baseball diamond. We hit our 7-unit MLB player prop back-to-back 7 units there. So we're heating up on the diamond, and tonight will be a big play. That's what I got going on, Lenny.
I like it. He's
wearing the Cubs hat, his lucky Cubs
Always.
hat too.
I'm supporting them. Let's go.
See, got to.
I left it actually out here in Arizona, so I'm glad I'm back out here. I had to come get it.
Perfect. All right, let's talk. Let's go through the NBA and the NHL real quick, and then we'll get into the MLB. Again, if you got questions about MLB stuff, games, whatever, drop them in the comments. We'll get to it. Talk about this Pacers game for me. I'll go around the horn here. But I had Pacers. Oh, shit, throwing stuff. I had Pacers plus the points. And I heard from a couple people telling me, if you're like the Pacers, take the money line. Why even bother? Well, with 2 minutes left, I was hoping to cover. Like I was needed, and then they just I saw stats on Twitter like it's the first time in like 997 games and one that somebody's came back from down 14 plus points in the last 2 minutes, something crazy. And then the Pacers come back, and then you think they win it with a buzzer beater with that shot, and then it's a 2-pointer, and then I'm like, shit, now I'm going to lose in overtime. I was all over the place, and this is why I hate the NBA. Craig Trapp's itching to talk about the Pacers, so take it away. What do you take away from 2 questions? 2-parter. What do you take away from last night's Pacers Knicks games or game, and what do you like Timberwolves Thunder? What are you thinking?
Well, let's think about the last 6-7 games for the Pacers. They've done this 3 times. Come back. Now, It wasn't quite as drastic, but they've came back from 15 to 20 points down in the fourth quarter, or in the second half, I guess it was on one of those games. The other 2 were in the fourth quarter. This team just doesn't quit. And the way they press up on teams, it wears you down the series. You heard the Cavaliers talk in the postgame after they lost that it really took an effect on them, especially since Garland and them were hurt. But the Knicks, they wore them down last year. Remember, they played them in the playoffs, wore them down late in that series. I do think the Knicks probably will come back and win game 2. But the Pacers are going to be tough to beat as long as if this series progresses to 6 or 7 games, because they just wear you down. They play 9 or 10. The Knicks are playing 6 to 7, and they play their big 3 Nova boys. They play them big minutes, and I think we saw them wear down late. It's going to be an interesting series. It's going to be a good yin and yang type series. Now, as far as my top play is going to be in this T-Wolves game, so I won't talk about the side or total, but I do think there's a little prop play, and I do have one prop play, but my second player prop, I think, this Thunder team is just so deep. So you have to be careful when you play any guy that doesn't get big minutes, because, if the guy on the backup hits 2 or 3 threes, they kind of ride with them. So I kind of like you have to stay on guys that play big minutes. And I think tonight that's Shea. I think you play the Shea man over 31.5 points. I think it'll be closer. He had 31 last game. He's had 31 or above in 4 straight games. I think tonight he had a bad first half. I think he has a better first half. Let's take Shea, SGA over 31.5 points. That's my second prop of the day. I do my top player prop is over at the prop area, and then the top 7-unit play is on the side in this one.
There you go. Nick, what do you like NBA wise, or you got? I mean, I know how you feel about the Pacers, but
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers did it. And I will say one thing, the Knicks got a little taste of their own medicine there. Their comeback stories, they got a little punch in their mouth. And you know what? I'm done seeing that Halliburton isn't an elite player. He's an elite player. He plays for the Indiana Pacers here, ladies and gentlemen. He should be compared to a Jason Tatum that plays in a high market like the Boston Celtics here. It's time he's in the lights and he's doing it right in front of our eyes. But let's talk about this game tonight. We got the Timberwolves, the Thunder here. The Thunder, obviously, they dominated game one. They scored 114 points. In the T-Wolves, they only scored 88 points. Tonight, Anthony Edwards needs to go off for his team. I think he steps up to the occasion along with a lot of these guys on the offensive side. They're not scoring 88 points. They'll get over that 100 mark, even if they want to keep this game close. It's -7.5 for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but this game's going to be a lot closer than people expect, I should say. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves will score points in this game, and I like this total to go over here, 216.5 points. I think there's going to be a lot of points to be scored here if Minnesota wants to take this game and even cover here tonight, Lenny.
Nice. Great breakdown. I'll tell you what,
Very good.
I was very surprised about the Knicks Pacers. I mean, I know it went into overtime, but even if it didn't go to overtime, I was surprised by the total. But
yeah,
Griffin, talk to me about that.
Well, I'll talk to you about this.
We were on the under.
I was on the under, and me and Tony yesterday on the Vegas beat, we talked about this game, and neither of us had a side in this, and we both talked about how this could go about because Indiana, they're terrible on rebounds. And we talked about March Madness, and we talked about all the big teams like Bama who can rebound, Florida who can rebound, Auburn who could rebound, all of those teams that made it to the final. Rebounding wins games. And last night, Indiana, they got beat down on rebounds. It was like 49-38 in New York's favor, and still managed to win that game outright. So when you look at this team, you have to go based off of the momentum. This team is carrying all of the momentum. They're winning games, and they're getting beat in metrics that they shouldn't be getting beat in, and yet they're still pulling away with wins. Agreed 100% with what Nick said. We watched that game together last night with Halliburton. I mean, you want to talk about a guy putting the team on your back and saying, give me the rock and I'm going to score? Well, he did it. This bastard had a wide open 2 going in to close the game out. Dribbles the ball back to the fadeaway, shots it, and bangs the thing, looking to win the game outright instead of going to OT. I mean, absolutely sensational. You want to talk about confidence, putting the team on your shoulders. Absolutely phenomenal job that guy did. Indiana, they are the team to beat right now. They are carrying the momentum, and that is what you need to win in the playoffs. It is not about metrics. It is not about statistics. It's who's coming out hotter, who's playing better basketball, and right now the Indiana Pacers are playing better than anybody other than the OKC Thunder. And you look at this matchup right now with the OKC Thunder and the T-Wolves, very interesting one. I mean, you just got to be flat out honest with yourself. Yeah. OKC in the game one, nobody knew what to expect, and everybody expected it to be a tight, competitive game, and I expected personally that it was going to be a low-scoring game. I expected that total to go under. Well, it did not, or it did go under, and OKC absolutely torched the living hell out of them. And nobody's saying a word about Anthony Edwards. Did anybody miss the fact that Edwards was limping off of the court in game one, beat up by his ankle? That could flow into this most recent matchup that we have going into tonight. I'm not backing Minnesota in tonight's matchup. Lay the wood with OKC. They're at home. They went 35-6 or something at home this season. Absolute dominant, best team in the NBA across all cylinders. Give me OKC here tonight and lay the wood.
Hey, you know, no one's talking about. They scored 42 in the first half, I think it was, or 40 in the first half. Oklahoma City, they scored 70 points in the second half. Mm-hmm. I mean, they might have had a little jitters or a little like after game 7 winner, and maybe a little letdown intensity-wise. But man, did they come out in the second half. And if Oklahoma City shoots like that, it doesn't really matter what Minnesota does. That's been the story all year long with Oklahoma City. They're great on defense, and they can knock down the threes.
I kind of gonna just lay it with Oklahoma City and just keep laying it because I just think it's the most white bread NBA finals you're ever gonna get. Vanilla, whatever. But it's Indiana OKC. I don't see a way that the Knicks, after watching last night, I don't see them coming back in this series. I don't care if they're down 1-0. I know it's early. A lot of basketball, all that crap, but there's no way they pulled this out.
Don't say no.
Does anybody have the lineup?
I'm just saying.
Never say never.
Guys,
I'm saying never.
I'm throwing this out here right now, and I think there's tremendous value on this play. Punch the Pacers plus 500, not your mortgage. Throw a little pizza money for them to win the NBA Finals. I call me crazy. Call me crazy.
It's not like they haven't been there before. You know, I mean, it's not like they don't have the.
Well, they haven't been to the
finals. They have the
before.
talent.
Not with this team.
Well, not with this team. I'm just saying, it's not like they don't have playoff.
Turner, Sakayam.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice? We're talking about the Indiana Pacers to be in the finals here. I'm just glad it's not Boston or Denver. The Lakers.
I'll tell you what,
smaller market teams getting into it.
The Pistons would have beat Indiana. Anyways, let's talk NHL though. Real quick, I'll give you a quick 30-second or less story. Last night, I'm in my garage. I'm watching this NBA game. I'm screaming and yelling when Halliburton hits when he steps back, dribbles backwards, and hits the three. I'm like, "What are you doing? Just take the 2." And I'm like, "What are you doing? Just take the 2, right?" Like, and then he's back to hit it. I'm like, then in 30 seconds or less, I had 3 thoughts. What are you doing? And then I was like, "Oh, I hope you miss it." And because then they'll lose, I got 4.5 points. And I hope you make it. Then and all of that, and a screaming yell. Mandy comes out. My wife comes running out the garage. She thought I was dying or something. Dog gets out. I had to chase the dog down the street. The dog back in. It was a whole nutshell. I missed the first 2 minutes of overtime. Then I decided the dog was on his own. I was watching basketball. He'd come back when he's hungry. So that's my
OT. They even dominated OT.
Well, they had all the momentum. That was going to be if New York came back and won the overtime, that would have been a big story because you have that kind of momentum. Like it's. But I don't think this. I think the series still is going to go 6 or 7 games. Like these teams are close. Like they're really, really close. That point, like remember, it was basically a nip and tuck game until that little stretch the Knicks had when Brunson went out with 5 fouls. They outscored them by like 14 points and kind of extended that lead. But if you take away that 3 or 4 minutes, it basically was a 1 or 2 point game back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I think that's what we're going to see all series long. Maybe not in this Western Conference, but the Eastern Conference is much closer, that series. And the odds don't suggest it because now the Knicks are, I think, 7-1 to win the championship, which it basically flipped because they won game 1.
Yep.
Yeah. So it will be interesting. I don't know. I Thunder are plus 150, I think. I think that's like stealing money. Like I think that's I just can't see anybody
over
else beating
6.5 what?
Over 6.5 what? Points,
assists, rebounds. What are we talking?
Rudy Gobert over 6.5 points.
I
would go over points. Yeah,
I would take over points as
It'll be interesting if they play big or small because the big lineup didn't necessarily affect the Thunder, and he can't guard people. Like he gets on a switch and SGA, they just basically set screens so they get SGA on him, and then he just creates matchups. And if you help, then he kicks out for 3. I don't know if he'll play big minutes tonight, so that's a worry if you play Gobert there.
I like that breakdown.
That was good stuff. All right, let's talk NHL. Too much time spent on the No Betting Allowed Association. NHL. NHL. First of all, I was on Dallas. Game 1 at home. I'm sorry, boys. I know there was some Edmonton love out there, but
you thought you were
USA,
playing. You saw
go
the
America.
You saw the D. You thought you were playing Detroit, and they're like, oh shit, the D's from Dallas.
I've never ever had that. Has that ever happened that I've confused Dallas anything with Detroit?
Well, you're definitely not comparing Detroit.
We're America's team, not the Cowboys. Panthers, Hurricanes tonight though. Hurricanes back against the wall, and it's already game 2. We'll go right to Nick. What's your thoughts on this?
It's simple here. I mean, Carolina, they're down 1-0 at home. This is a must-win game for the Hurricanes. If you go down 2-0 to Florida, you are not going to come back on these Panthers. They are relentless. They've shown it through the whole playoffs here. It doesn't matter if they're tired, play a game 7, and then they play the next day. They're still going to come with the same aggressive mindset. This is a very good Florida Panthers team. If you want plus money, take Carolina here, 3-way regulation. But it's Carolina all day here. They have to win this game at home. I want to see more shots on the net, a lot of volume. That's what they've done all season long. They slowed down on that first game, not as many shots as I would like. I think they pepper the net here, and Anderson steps up in a big way for these Carolina Hurricanes at home to have a split series going back to Florida here tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't see how I want to bet Florida so bad. But
plus money. It's hard not to.
That's the problem. But I like the in regulation bet. Craig, you got anything going on in hockey?
I mean, I watched that game because I had a 6-unit or 7-unit play. I think it was 7-unit actually, and I had Carolina. I had Carolina. They just the early when they were up 1-0, right? And then they got that cheap goal. Florida did it on because guy punches a guy after the you just can't get stupid penalties. Then the guy flicks the ball into the crowd, stupid late when they were trying to come back. It's like that basically gave them 2 goals. You cannot do that to beat Florida. You have to play mistake-free. I don't know if they can. That's a lot of pressure. I will say I see all the plays in the back end because that's how I pick the Premium Plus plays. Let's just say there's a huge consensus in this one. I actually put it in the Premium Plus, and I'm on the opposite side. So go over there and get the Premium Plus, and you'll know what side I'm on, and you'll know where everybody else is. So we'll see.
There you go, folks. It's that simple. Griffin, what are your thoughts on NHL?
I mean, Florida scorched that game 1 in a 5-2 win. This is a psychological trap in my eyes. Carolina, their backs are against the rope. The public is going to be all over them. Everybody's going to be all over them, as they should. And the trend that has been going on is I've been saying this through each game, each series. If you like Dallas, take the under. If you like Edmonton, take the over. Same thing here. If you like Florida, take the over. If you like Carolina, take the under. Well, in this situation, I actually agree. I believe that this is a counterintuitive trend where I'm going with this one. I believe I'm not backing Carolina here tonight, but at the same time, I still think there are going to be a lot of goals in this game from both sides. I don't think Carolina is going to be able to stop Florida offensively when it comes to how progressive this team's playing. They're playing like the Indiana Pacers in the NHL. They're playing with momentum. They have that motivation factor again, and that momentum is just rolling. Panthers are playing great hockey. They do this year in, year out. They did it 2 years ago. I talked about this yesterday, when the Bruins were absolutely sensational 2 years ago, and the Panthers went to the Stanley Cup and lost to the Knights. It's kind of a very similar situation of what they're doing right now, but I think they're going to score a lot of goals tonight, and I think Carolina is also going to score a lot of goals tonight. So I'm drilling this over 5.5 goals. I think this is that counterintuitive trap type of thing. The public's going to be all over Carolina, which also is going to force all the heads to go to the under. I'm not with that. I'm on the other side. Give me the over in this one, Lenny.
I could see that. I'm on the over as well. And you can get that plus 105 some spots. So shop your lines about even money plus 105. I mean, every nickel counts. That's where I come from. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to say some stuff about Carolina Hurricanes. And if you're a Carolina Hurricane fan, look away. You might be the American version of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I hate to say that to you. Your record at home, 31-9-1, dominant at home. Everybody and their brothers are going to be on you at home. You should win this game at home. I don't know if you do. I'm just saying that. I don't know, but I'm on that over 5.5. I do like that as well. Dale stopping in Carolina Hurricanes 6-2 in their last 8 games versus top 10 scoring defenses.
Good stats.
11-4 against spreads in the last 15 games. Dale dropping by with the numbers. Liking it. Let's talk MLB, though. And don't forget, real quick, got to drop in the free 60. Docs.com/free 60. That's where you get your free $60 account. If you haven't used it, I don't know what you're waiting for real. YouTube Premium, $49.99, 3 plays every day, video format, brought to you by Craig Trapp himself. That Larry... Curly, my bad. It's my first day. I'm the new guy. You get the email to customer service, $49.99. 3 doc experts via video. That includes the $19.99 Indian Cowboy package. MLB, lots to talk about in the MLB. A couple games already started. Texas, the Rangers and the Yankees, no score, bottom of the third. Padres 2-0 over the Jays, top of the second, and I almost played that, and I didn't.
You were saying you like the Padres too.
I did. I said it before we started. I'm like, I should tell you, I entered a contest. Like, I know a guy that knows a guy, kind of thing.
Oh shit!
Like, yeah, I talked about the NFL contest that I did. Where it was like pick 10 money line plays every week, blah blah blah. The same guy runs the same, whatever. It's like $20 to get in.
Sounds like a weed dealer. I know a guy that knows.
I know a guy that knows. I'm Detroit Lenny. I know a guy that always knows a guy.
What do you need?
So, anyways, it's 1 play a day, minus 130 or better, whatever. And I was going to take the Padres for some plus money action, but instead I took the Tigers because I'm a dumbass. Griffin, we'll start with you in the MLB.
Well, I'm going to tell you. Letty, you're not a dumbass, man. And you know what? You're sitting in the perfect spot. You got the best team in the AL Central, and I I'm
best team in baseball.
And I'm going to talk about them. They're there. They're there. Maybe they're not. necessarily there, but they're kind of in that mix. We'll get there. We'll
numbers
talk
don't
about that after the All-Star break. But anyways, let's talk about this.
Fair.
We got the Guardians rolling into Detroit to play the Tigers. Tigers fair value at -135 on the money line. Total sitting at 8.5. Flaherty gets to start for Detroit tonight. He's got a 2-5 record with a 4.44 ERA. Flaherty, he's a dominant pitcher. He is not a 4.4 ERA type of pitcher. This guy has proven dominance with his high 56 strikeouts and just 15 walks. That strikeout to walk diversification, people do not pay enough attention to that. When you look at those numbers, if a pitcher has 56 strikeouts and just 15 walks, he's showing dominance. He's tearing up hitters. They're not barreling up his stuff, clearly. And he's got sneaky stuff, which is striking them out, clearly. He's backed up by a Tigers team who is currently first in the AL Central. They're 17-5 at home. This is a divisional matchup in the AL Central. Tigers are 8-2 when it comes to divisional games. Give me the Tigers here on the money line. Fair value -135 for this one, Lenny. I know you like it. I know you like
on the board. Tigers, first 3, first 5, bowl game, bang, bang, bang. Just play it like you know it. I'm just saying, numbers don't lie. Statistically, they're the best team in baseball. I'm going to bring it to Craig Trapp because otherwise this will turn into the Detroit Tigers podcast. Craig Trapp, what do you got today in MLB?
Well, I don't know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy, but I do.
You know me, and I'm the guy that knows the guy. See, you can say this.
I don't know if I want to claim that. I don't know if I want to claim that. When they come to me, I'll be like, Detroit Lenny? Like, Detroit who? That's what I'm going to say. Detroit.
Nobody says that.
When the police show up at the door, that's what you always say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No matter what they ask.
Don't mention, Jeezy told you, don't mention my name.
How about Raphael yesterday said, Phillies, no problem. I don't know how you don't play Philly -1.5 against Colorado today, -2.5, -3.5. Doesn't matter. Listen, the Rockies are a dumpster fire. They've lost 9-5, 7-4, 9-3 in the last 3 games. And on the year, if you play them on the plus, because they're getting plus every time, at home, they're 9-15 on if you take out the plus run line. So they're not even good if you give them basically that means they're losing every game by 2 runs or more. I'm going to continue that trend today. Philly early. Then you can parlay that with the first 5 innings in Seattle. So you can either parlay it or just just roll it over, whichever one you want.
There you go, Dale.
I think both of those are in Seattle first 5 as well.
There you go. I like that. And I'll tell you what, I took Phillies -2.5 at -135. And I when I did it, I was like, I'm gonna lay all them runs and lay all that juice. Man, it's like, I had to put a shoulder into it when I bet that. It was hard, but I did it. And I mean, how do you argue with that? I mean, they lose 9-5, they lose 7-4, they lose 9-3. And then, then they played Pittsburgh and they still lost, just not as bad.
And they were up 3-1 in that first game of the series it's after the 7th inning and gave up all those runs and didn't even cover. So, I mean, it's like when their pitchers finally pitch well, then the bullpen blows up and they're getting no run support.
Absolutely. 0. All right, Nick.
Yeah,
we already know Tigers, but what's the other best bet?
No, I love the Tigers. Tigers first 5. Tigers actually under with Flaherty, and I would go run line with the Tigers today. But let's look at these Angels and the Athletics here. And I'm smelling a little trap with this line. The Angels, they're on a 6-game winning streak coming into this game. They got Tyler Anderson on the mound. He's 2-1 this season. He's been the Angels' most reliable pitcher over the last, 5 years here. And for the Athletics tonight, Luis Severino will be on the mound. He's 1-4 this season, but he's way better than his record indicates here. In the Athletics, they are on an 8-game losing streak. I usually do not do this whatsoever, but I am going to grab this falling knife from the Athletics. I think they come out big tonight at home. A lot of runs to be scored on Tyler Anderson here. It's just way too obvious. The public and myself would want to go with these Los Angeles Angels. I just think it's too much of a trap here to have the Athletics favored at home. 8-game losing streak. Angels 6-game winning streak. Absolutely not. Take the Athletics here on the money line over the Angels, snapping their 8-game losing streak.
I hope you're long.
There is a nut. Speak up. Say it with your chest.
I hope you're wrong early.
I hope you're wrong early. That's fair. That's love right there. I hope you're wrong, but just early, not later.
Hey, you guys can take it to the talking stick, right? Or the walking stick?
No, I'm not
No,
allowed.
we're not allowed over there. I'm
Yeah,
not
Griff-
even in
Griff
Arizona
ran for a
yet, and I
couple
can't go.
Griff got a suspension?
No,
See, this
I'm
is
good.
one
I
of those.
need
This,
Vote.
I'll just-
yeah,
I
this is
need
one of
to
those
leave
conversations we
for the
have
night.
off air.
just for the night.
Yeah, and see, this is one of those things. This is one of those we're lucky he didn't mention my name type thing. You know, I know Detroit Lightning. I'm gonna call him right now. Don't do that. That didn't work.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget, like, share, subscribe on your way out. We're gonna wrap it up here. Monday through Friday. We'll be back tomorrow, 1:00 Eastern. Check out the Saturday show, 11 a.m. Eastern. Don't forget about the free 60. If you haven't already used it, use it. Go over there, sign up. It's easy peasy. You just create a username, whatever, and then boom, $60 in your account. Split it up any way you want.
I got a question. Has anybody ever been to a Friday wedding? Because tomorrow I'm a Friday 5 p.m. wedding. Like, I thought I freaking read this wrong.
I got married on a Friday night.
I was like,
It's
wait,
cheaper
Friday?
on a Friday. It's
Friday?
cheaper on a
Do we
Friday.
hit happy hour? Do you hit happy hour?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like at 3 o'clock, and you end up freaking trashed.
So let me tell you.
Absolutely.
Here's why. Saturday is the most expensive day to get married, and Sunday is the second most. Fridays. Friday. And then you could just hit the bar, and then boom, reception. Well, I live in Vegas. It's different. Like, we got married at a chapel, and then we went to a bar to have karaoke.
Is tonight. So I got a Thursday rehearsal dinner.
We did.
Like, Thursday
Absolutely.
rehearsal dinner is like, I'm going to end up trash Thursday night for rehearsal dinner. Friday. Then it's the freaking Memorial Day weekend. So if it gets warmer, pool party. If not, just going to get trashed at the Legion again. So it's like, I'm like, this is bad news for Craig. My liver can't take this.
It sounds like a good weekend to me. I'll be in Arizona with these two knuckleheads sitting by a hotel pool sipping pina coladas.
Speaking about the Three Stooges.
Only if my wife makes them so.
Are you going to the walking stick or the talking stick?
We just talked about this. We can't go.
No, just Griffin can't. You can go. You just can't say you know Griffin. You just
no. I'm allowed in. It was that night. I wasn't allowed back that night. I'm allowed back. I hope.
Lenny, when are you gonna be here?
I'll be here. I'll be tomorrow night. Like, because I can't. Tomorrow night I leave at like 2, 3 or something. I won't be there till later tomorrow.
Yeah, just text us.
Yeah, for sure.
All
right, guys.
Are you taking Mandy with you?
I'll take the whole clan's coming with me. The whole Winston clan.
You might not want to hang out with Griffin because the girls.
I'm trying to get. So look, here's the story, folks. I hope my wife ain't watching. I'm trying to bring the 3 younger kids down to help the 2 older kids move. While they do that Saturday morning, I will be working with Griffin on the Doc's Daily Show, which could go an hour.
At the casino?
Usually we'll go a half hour. It might go an hour because Lenny don't want to move. Lenny's too old. Lenny will play for the U-Haul and have his kids do that stuff. That's I got kids. My dad told me he had kids for 2 reasons. So they could cut the grass and make them sandwiches. Not necessarily in that order. Good luck unless you're against us. We'll see you tomorrow.